So what really happened to the Scarlet Witch? Lots of people have a theory, and clearly the ending of Multiverse of Madness left it very open to interpretation. But now it seems like Marvel might have directly answered this question and opened the door to the return of the Scarlet Witch. Well, as many of you know, technically Kevin Feige is king of all things Marvel. And since he took up the crown, well, the separation between Marvel Comics and the Marvel Cinematic Universe have got thinner and thinner. Over time, this has seen some characters from the MCU show up in the comic universe and vice versa, and a new TVA comic really has fans talking. Now, Marvel Comics TVA number 3 actually went on sale today, and in this issue, it really has once again made closer ties with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. These comics have done a pretty good job mixing these two worlds, and we've seen a lot of characters, especially those from Loki. Additionally, the events of Deadpool and Wolverine have also been heavily referenced, so it does suggest that this series is indeed canon to stories at Marvel Studios. And that's where this starts to get a little interesting. Now, this comic is on issue number 3, and in the previous 2 issues, it was revealed that something called the Madness is actually threatening the multiverse, and this has led to a team for the Research and Advancement Department from the TVA to try to set out and stop it. Now, in the series so far, it actually took them to the library of Damon Hellstrom, and they met Sylvie, the variant played by Sophia DiMartino in the MCU, in that issue. So they have delivered a lot of clues suggesting this is indeed the MCU. Now, in today's issue, it does give us a big focus on Mobius, and it still shows him recovering and is well established that Loki is, quote, gone after the events of Season 2. Now, the story does include lots of other characters, and one of those characters is Gwen Stacy as Ghost Spider. Now, in this issue, she follows a path led out to her in her dreams and discovers something known as the Department of Deferment. And in the Department of Deferment, she finds what appears to be the MCU version of the Scarlet Witch. Check it out. Now, this very much looks like Wanda Maximoff wearing her costume from Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and she also appears to have the deformed fingers from using the Darkhold. Now, if this is all canon and tied into the MCU, this is pretty big, because it appeared that despite her, quote, death in the 2022 movie, the TVA decided to put the Scarlet Witch on ice. And to me, this absolutely opens the door to not just a variant of the Scarlet Witch returning, but the actual Scarlet Witch herself. Apparently, the TVA must have, quote, saved her for a really good reason, and definitely fill in some blanks from Agatha all along to explain why no one knew where the Avenger was. Now, we can't say this for 100% certainty, but it appears that this TVA comic is actually canon. With Kevin Feige being the king of all things Marvel, he definitely has a hand in the publishing side of things, and I absolutely could see them seeding ideas in the comics that'll pay off in future productions. As a matter of fact, this is something I think Marvel has really missed the ball on, especially at the peak of the MCU. People have said many times they should sell comics in the theaters as kids came out from those really successful movies, and this is something that never really happened. Marvel also never capitalized on tying these two worlds together, and I don't think this is a mistake they're going to continue to make, and something that will be much more difficult for the competition to do since DC Studios and DC Comics are not under this same direct leadership. Obviously, we're going to follow this one pretty closely. I think it's a great way to bring back Wanda Maximoff, very comic book, basically a character being dead, and then it turns out a long period of time later we find out, well, maybe not, with some sort of fantastical explanation. Obviously, the TVA would have had the technology to rescue Wanda from the cave-in, so there's no reason why this might actually not be true. If it's how the Scarlet Witch returns, well, we're going to have to wait and see. Now, before you take off though, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and don't forget to ring the bell for all the updates. We do daily Marvel and DC videos, and we want to be your place for all the real, truthful superhero news, and we're going to bring it to you truthfully and transparently so you are really in the know.